Hello, can you give me a thumbs up? Is my audio and video working? Can you hear me and see me okay? Just making sure we're all good. Okay. I do have you on mute right now. We already get started with the interview in 1 minute. I'm just gonna do a quick screen share of a couple questions I'd like you to answer in the chat. Then we'll get started, okay? So you should see that popping up right now. Thank you. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through, refresh, and then I'm gonna right click on everybody. And as I do that, I'm gonna start sending the no-show texts as well before that happens. So that's what I'm going to work on for a couple minutes, and then we'll come back and do the main interview. The goal is to get everybody texted before the interview starts, and then that way you can maybe collect a couple extra ones that weren't able to, click on the link quite yet. Okay, we're gonna get started with the interview here. Can you give me a thumbs up again just to make sure my audio and video is now good? And hopefully it's still working. The technology is all good and everything. Just making sure. Okay. So my name is Nik Leindecker. I'm the district manager and owner for our office for our company in the Minnesota area, also the Iowa, and then North and South Dakota areas as well. And anyway, just so you know, we're actually doing a group portion of the interview right now. There's actually multiple people I can see in the video. We do this for a couple reasons. One, it saves you some time. I don't want to make people drive all the way to an office right now. That would not be the smartest idea. And also, it saves me some time too, just because a lot of people heard we have remote positions where people can work from home. So, in light of that, we've had quite a few applicants. So, our time is going to be split into two parts, though. The first part is I'm going to tell you all the details of the position. And then the second part is I'm going to talk to everybody individually one on one, just so that way I can get to know you better, ask you some questions, see if you're a good fit for it. At the very end, I'll actually let you know whether or not you're accepted for the position, just because. I don't know. I don't like it when companies say they'll call you back. They never do, right? I won't do that to you. I've been doing this for about 16 years now. I know what to look for in a person for the job. We have a great team right now, but we are looking to add those next amazing people to our team. And I do want to mention everybody is also on mute just for the time being, but we will use the chat box a couple times today. This would be a good time just to make sure you have something where you can take some notes on. So if you want to grab maybe like a pen and paper next to you, of course, you can use your computer if you want to load up a note on your phone or on your computer there. Now would be a great time to make sure you have something to take some notes on, like I said, and then also too, if you are using your phone for the interview, if you can find a way to like prop up your phone and keep it on a stable surface, that'd be great, just so we can see each other better. But I do want to take a second just to say hi to everybody on the video though. So Abigail, hello. Colson, nice to meet you. Carter, welcome. Jocelyn, hello. Maddie, nice to meet you. Gavin, welcome. Anthony, hello. Penzi, nice to meet you too. Lily, hello. Damien, welcome. Cooper, nice to meet you. Noah, I know we were texting earlier. Nice to meet you. Sivan, nice to meet you as well. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day so far and you're enjoying your Tuesday morning. The first thing let me do though is write down what I look for in a person for the position. Okay. So, number one, I definitely look for somebody who has a positive attitude. That's the first thing. Give me a head nod if you feel like that's an important characteristic of a coworker. Yeah, who's ever had that negative coworker or teammate before? Does that sound familiar to some people? It's kind of tough, right? So we only accept positive people. Number two is somebody who works hard, has a strong work ethic. So we've got positive, hard worker. And then the third thing is someone who's coachable, who can learn, who can grow, who can get better. Hey, in my opinion, those are not really job things. Those are life things, right? Um, and if somebody has a good personality, if they're friendly, that's always great too. And just so you know that if you're accepted for the position, you'd be interacting with all of our customers and coworkers on an app for the computer called Zoom. Raise your hand if you've heard of Zoom or if you've used that app before. Does that sound familiar to most people? Yeah. So with the Zoom, I'm saying that because over the last few years, I've been doing these virtual interviews compared to in person. And I've usually been able to tell if somebody's paying attention, if they're taking notes, if they're getting involved in the interview process. That's what I'll encourage you to do today. I don't think it's a secret the world is moving more towards an online digital world, right? Whether it's another job, if you're a student, that with classes being online sometimes. So we do look for somebody who presents themselves well on camera. On the opposite side, though, if you have any technical issues today, I won't hold that against you in the interview, okay? Just shoot me a message in the chat. If something isn't working, we'll try to figure it out. The reason I use this platform, though, for the interview compared to Zoom is because this application uses your Wi-Fi to stream the video, not the host's Wi-Fi. So if you're a technology person, you know that means you should not experience any buffering today. It should play pretty smooth from your house. So anyway, speaking of that, what I want to do is I'm going to show you a video with all the details of the position. And I'm doing that because a lot of you heard about the job potentially through something different. Some of you may have heard about the job online, maybe on Craigslist, on the web, right? I know Gavin, you saw us you saw us online, right? Some of you may have heard about the job through a letter in the mail, and congrats on getting that as well. I know Abigail, you got the letter, Anthony as well, Colson as well too, Jocelyn, you got the letter, Lily got the letter as well. That's why I heard about the job too. I got a letter in the mail from my manager, so I'm glad that you opened that. Some of you may have heard about the job through a friend. Raise your hand if you know somebody maybe who works with us on our team. Yeah, I know Alexis, you know Wyatt, who just got started last week. Carter, you know Cody. He just got started last week as well. Cooper, you know, a friend. Damien as well. Maddie, you know, Aaron Auden. Aaron just got started last week as well too. Noah, Penzi, Sivan, you know, Joey, right? So I know some of you already know somebody who works with us. Basically, I told our team this past week we had some more positions available. So maybe they told you to apply and you reached out to me. Maybe I shot you a text because your friend recommended you. Some of you may have heard about the job through your career counselor at your college, just because we actually are the number one employer of high school graduating seniors and college students in the US. So we work with about 40,000 college students every single year. We've got about 200 locations nationwide. Maybe they told you to get like a scholarship or an internship with us or a job for the summer. Maybe you saw us on social media also. Regardless of how you heard about the position, some of you know a lot about our company. Some of you know barely anything at all because maybe your friend didn't tell you much yet. Either way, that's okay because, like I said, I'll make sure you get the details today. All right. So in 1 second, there'll be a box that pops up on your screen. It's going to play a quick video. It's pretty fast. It's only about 8 minutes. During this portion, just know I do have to turn my audio and video off just so there's no feedback on your end. But just know I'm still here evaluating you. So take some notes, write down questions you have. At the very end, I'll explain a few more things about the position. And then, like I said, I'm looking forward to that one-on-one part, which we'll do that in a little bit here too. If you could do me one favor, though, once the video plays, if you can just give me a thumbs up, just so I know it's working, just so that way I know the technology is not malfunctioning today. Sound good? All right, so let's get rolling here. So let's start with the video. The video should be popping up on your screen, so take some notes on this. And it should be starting right now. Okay, then what I'm going to do right now is finish texting anybody else. And then if somebody hopped off, I'm going to make sure that we're reaching out to those people too. So that's what I'm working on during the video. Okay, now that the video is over, is everything still working? Hopefully, you can still see me, hear me okay? Just making sure we're all good. Okay, let's talk about what we just learned then. So number one, you know that we sell Cutco cutlery and it's kitchen stuff. Raise your hand if you've heard of Cutco before. Does that sound familiar to some people? Some people, yeah, nice. Yeah, a lot of you have heard about it. If you have heard of it, feel free to shoot me a message in the chat if you want to let me know maybe who do you know who has it. That'd be kind of cool to know. I would not have been raising my hand back in the day. I was like the Pop-Tarts and mac and cheese guy when I started, so I did not cook it all back then. But yeah, it is really popular kitchen stuff, as you now know. We also do those one-on-one presentations with our customers. I know she mentions sometimes it's in person. We're not really doing that right now, though. It's all via Zoom, like we talked about. And then our work from home reps don't use a sample kit of knives, but almost everyone does win some products they can use at their house too. I would write this down in your notes though. Our starting pay is $25. I think everybody already knows that though. Just making sure. 25 bucks. And the appointments generally last about 45 to 60 minutes. So if you want to write down 45 minutes to an hour. So now you know why we say $25 per appointment, not per hour, because even if it's less than an hour, if it's only 45 minutes, they still get the base pay. But it takes about an hour. They also get paid weekly. So if you want to write down direct deposit on Fridays, keeps their people happy. It's every single week. And they get either the base pay or the incentive pay, whichever one's higher. Now the commission pay, that starts at 10% commission and keep going, it can keep going all the way up to 30% or more. And people do hit promotions very quickly, especially in our office. And people hit promotions really fast. Actually, I think of Sivan, your friend Joey, right? Joey just got started last week. He already hit his first promotion after his first day on the job. Cody hit his promotion too. So anyway, Alexis White's hit two promotions so far that you know. So again, they just got started a couple days ago. Some of you know those people. They're not like salesy people. They're just really nice, right? So as long as they're friendly, people do end up moving up really quickly. So yes, people have promotions very fast, especially in our office. I think it's the right move though for the company to have a base pay because we want to focus on building a relationship with the customer and having fun compared to just being pressured to make a sale, right? And right now is a great time to get started, though. We've been working 100% remotely over the internet for the last few years, ever since COVID hit. In 2020, we had our biggest year ever in sales as a company. We sold over $300 million in sales, and we've been growing ever since then. And I'm sure you can probably guess why. One, people are cooking more, right? And two, people are buying more things online than ever before. Would you agree? Amazon boxes just keep showing up at my house. I don't remember ordering half the stuff, right? But moms, dads are doing that because it's more convenient. So if we can go directly to the customer, that's a really good move for the company. So that's kind of why you're here. That's why we're conducting more interviews. We didn't know how busy we were going to be. And it just so happens our reps are getting a pay boost just by starting in really the best time ever to show off Cutco. So let's move on here though. Let's talk about our support system. I'll have you write down training in your notes. Training. Obviously, if you were accepted, we would have you go through a training program. That'd be 3 consecutive half days on Zoom with our managers and our staff. We teach them all about the products, how to work with the customers, how to do the presentations as well. People always ask me, do I have to make up my own presentation? The answer is no. We already have a pre-made PowerPoint presentation online. Who's ever heard of Google Slides or like a Google slideshow? Yeah, they just do a screen share of that. They just click through it, show off the videos, hang out with the customer, it's show and tell. And we teach them a lot of that stuff, of course, during training as well, too. So it makes it a lot more fun. That allows them to work from wherever. So if they're going back to college in the fall, or if they're at home for now, they can, continue to work. And then to do the job, they use this thing right here. It's called the Cutco manual. Looks like this. So if somebody's hired for the position, I would email this thing to them. They can just print it off. They can write on it during training. There's nothing people have to buy or anything like that to get started. Even at Target, you have to buy what? The khaki pants, like the red polo with the logo or whatever. All right, not sure if they still do that, but yeah, there's nothing they have to buy to get started here. And then also I'm going to show you a couple of the products just so you can get an idea of what these are all about here. I know you saw a few of these in the video, but the first thing to show our customers is our kitchen scissors. These are a really popular item and they actually come apart for easy cleaning. So you can throw them in a dishwasher. There's teeth, you can grip stuff too. So normally the customer would see a video of this. I'll just show it to you live though. So what we do is we grab a penny. Okay, you probably can guess what I'll do here. What do you think usually happens if it's like a regular pair of scissors? Yeah, like shoots out, hits somebody in the eyeball, right? The scissors break or something. Okay, I'll zoom in a second here. We just show the customer how. Goes the penny. How do you think customers react to that usually? They get pretty excited, right? They freak out a little bit. They get pretty pumped. So we're not really looking for a smooth, fancy salesperson. Anybody can show off Cutco and get excited, right? They just show a video of a penny getting cut, right? So you're noticing the product really does speak for itself, and that's really the biggest thing. I'm going to show you every high school and college student's favorite item, the pizza cutter. Okay. You know how the gunk always gets stuck in the pizza cutter usually? Yeah, the blade just pops out like that for easy cleaning. So you can just throw out the dishwasher. It's also safe to the touch, so kids can use it too. And then anybody know somebody who likes to hunt or fish at all? Any friends and family members, hunters and fishermen? So this is our fillet knife. I'm going to show you this thing here too. It's actually the #1 fillet knife in the world. It just so happens to be Cutco, and it's called the Fisherman's Solution. So a couple of things and features about this. There's a blade exposed right there, so it's a line cutter. So you don't have to take out your pocket knife. It's a lot safer. On the back, there's a whetstone. You can sharpen your pocket knives, sharpen your hooks. When it's out of the sheath, this is my favorite part. The sheath actually becomes a pliers, so you can hold the fish while filleting it or take the hook out. And then the blade also adjusts from 6 to 9 inches, locks into place with a locking mechanism right there. Very flexible too. The handle's made of a craton material. It becomes kind of sticky when wet, so it's not going to slip out of your hand if you're filleting a fish. And the last thing is the blade comes out for easy cleaning. You just throw it in the dishwasher. There's a hole through it. You can just rinse the fishy smell out of it too. So anyway, being in the Midwest, you probably can guess this is a very popular item that we have. Who's thinking like my uncle would totally buy that thing, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, I want to get that. So that's just one of the many different gifts and accessories we have that I would, of course, go through during training if somebody's hired for the position. Now, as soon as the training is done, you already know this from the video, they immediately start off by showing those friends and family that they know and are comfortable with first. I think that's everybody's favorite part. They get to go to mom and dad, grandma, she's always nice, right? Aunts and uncles, neighbor, best friend's mom. Raise your hand if you're involved in any clubs or sports or activities back in the day, or community involvement or church involvement, or like volunteering, or maybe like old jobs you hang out with your old coworkers from still. Yeah, they can go to people from those things, teachers, coaches, family, friends, people from church. I think people just really appreciate getting a chance to see some people they haven't talked to in a while, and they get paid to do it. I'm sure we all would agree that mental health is a very important part of society right now. It's important to me, it's important to our people. So having that human connection with somebody else, our reps really like that a lot. So anyway, they're showing people I know. From there, they're getting recommendations and referrals from those people. So it's always through a friend of a friend. It's the exact same way that a doctor, lawyer, real estate agent, financial planner, personal trainer, business person, entrepreneur, model, photographer, artist, that's how they get their clients, right? So our goal is to help them with those networking skills because that hopefully helps them later on in their future too. So yeah, the good news is they do not have to go door to door with knives and like open your coat and there's knives dangling. Okay. That'd be a little sketchy. We don't do that. So they start with people they know, they get the referrals. And of course, we teach that process during training. Really, really simple. We also have daily workshops though, manager office hours, team meetings. Again, all those things are optional. I do think people like meeting some coworkers though, and just hanging out with people in the team. Okay, I can't speak for every office in Cutco. There's like 200 nationwide. What I can tell you is in our office, though, we like to have more of like a family vibe and a family feel. So if they do like to get to know their coworkers, that's something that's really important to me. So I always like to use the phrase, especially in Cutco in our office, people are in business for themselves, but not by themselves. So even though it's a virtual job, they still have that community of other people doing the job with them, and it just, in my opinion, makes it a lot more fun. I've been doing this job for about 16 years now. Actually, my 16-year anniversary is coming up on June 13th, so less than 2 weeks away. And at this point in my career, I've trained in over 3,000 sales reps for the position. So I can pretty much tell you there are really three main things I think most people like about it when they first get started. And I'll have you jot these down here. The first thing, number one, is the scheduling. They get to pick their exact schedule, right? If they have another job, family activities, friend stuff, sports coming up, school, kids, vacations planned, whatever, we can help them plan their schedule around those things. That way they still make the money they want to, but still have a life. And I'm sure you'd agree that work-life balance really does matter a lot nowadays, right? Who's ever tried to request some time off from another job, but they schedule you for like the exact same hours you requested off before? Right? Or who's ever filled in for a friend? You didn't really want to take the shift, but you're just a really nice person. You're like, okay, fine, I'll help you out this time. So that doesn't really happen here. When they want to take some time off, they of course can. Who's also maybe wanted to get more hours at a job before, but there was just too many people working and you just couldn't quite get the schedule you were excited about and get more hours, right? So that's another thing too that happens here where they get to pick and choose whatever schedule they like to. The second thing is the pay. I was personally pretty happy the company had base pay. But I also like the fact that I could earn more if I worked harder. Some of you might relate to this. My first job I ever had when I was in high school was one of those jobs where I worked harder than other people, but I got paid like the same or less than a lot of them, right? I see some people nodding. I was the new guy. I was the youngest, right? Didn't have any experience. So with this job, I think people enjoy how we do not prejudge based on age or experience, and they're paid for their value instead of just their time. And the third thing is advancement. So not only can they hit those sales promotions very quickly, we also have advancement opportunities too. And I'd write down assistant manager position. We do have some leadership opportunities. Hey, not saying everybody wants to be a leader, but you know what? If they like to help people, they can for sure move up very quickly. They can learn things like how to help with interviews, with training, with coaching reps on our team. And my goal is to actually find 3 to 5 new assistant managers pretty much in the next month or so, which I do not even know who those people are going to be. Probably haven't even hired them yet, but if they work harder than somebody else, they can for sure move up very quickly. So I would just say that if you're interested in the leadership stuff, just mention that to me in the one-on-one part of the interview. Just that way I'm aware of that. Can't promise it now, of course, but it is good for me to know if somebody does like to be a leader and help others. One more thing I want to mention, and I think this is more important than money, is just the experience our people can gain. Because you already know this, right? Most resumes look the same. People have worked at restaurants, retail, labor jobs, office work, nannying, lifeguarding, landscaping, just stuff people have done, right? There's nothing wrong with those jobs. I had some of those when I was younger too. I think this job allows people to gain that professional experience though, that could help them in their future. And they gain skills, time management, goal setting, communication skills, leadership, business and marketing, personal growth, just things they might actually need. So that's something I care a lot about as a manager, is helping people get those skills. And that's why I've worked here so long because I truly do see that every day, people getting those awesome skills that matter for their future. So to wrap up here, I want to talk to you about our team, and hopefully you can also tell I care a lot about our team. We've got some awesome people, and we have all different types. Some are shy, some are outgoing. It doesn't really matter. Why? Cutco's cool. It's good stuff. Sells itself. It's a great product. So for me, I started when I was a student at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, and I studied psychology and business management there. I was pretty blessed to be able to pay my way through school working with Cutco, and I graduated debt-free with the money I earned. And then they offered me a career position when I graduated. I've been running our office ever since then. We actually just finished up last year our 11th consecutive year in a row as the top district office in the Midwest. Okay, we cannot just be number one in the area forever. We've got to win a national championship at some point. That's our team is pretty excited about. Anybody competitive or like friendly competition or maybe just competitive with yourself to get better as a person every single day? Me too. So to give you an idea, we sold about $935,000 worth of Cutco as a team in 2021. We got this close to $1 million that year. At that point, it had never happened in the history of the tri-state area for an office to sell $1 million. Fast forward the story, I'm happy to say we officially did hit our $1 million goal in 2022, the next year. And because of that, we sold $1.25 million in 2023. And then last year, we sold $1.35 million, grew by a ton again. This year, our goal is to sell 1.5 million and keep growing. Out of all the 200 offices nationwide, I'm happy to say last year we were number 6. Okay, we were top 10 in the nation out of about 200-ish offices. Very proud of our team for that. Anybody curious to see how we're doing this year? I got to brag about our team a little bit, right? We have an awesome team. So let me do a screen share here. I'm going to show you our sales report that just came out a couple days ago, and hopefully everybody can see this. Is this working? All right. So as you can see there, we're number 2, right? There's one office in Omaha beating us just by a little bit. My buddy Tyler runs an office down there. And, you already know what number we want to be by the end of the year. The Elite League, by the way, that takes the top 20 offices from the year before, and we compete in a separate category. Does everybody follow that? Because it'd be a little unfair for us to compete against like the newer offices. So it truly is the top 20 best of the best district offices in the entire company. So you already know what number we're trying to be by the end of 2025. Okay. Why am I saying all this stuff? I'm not saying this to boast or brag. I think, I'm sharing this. I think this matters to our applicants for 2 reasons. One, if somebody's accepted onto our team, they know they're coming onto that championship team that can help them do well, and they can feel confidence in the trainings, the programs, the staff, all that. And then number 2, they can put that on their resume. They can say they're part of a team that achieved this over here, broke some records, made history. They can also put their individual success on there as well. And we have all different types of people who work with us, whether that's somebody who's looking to do a great job, even just temporarily because their other job cut their hours. Maybe it's a student who wants to help pay for school like I did. Maybe it's a parent who has some kids at home, or maybe even some younger siblings that they have to take care of, or some family obligations during the summertime. Maybe it's an athlete who has sports coming up or a lot of workouts that it's kind of tough to find a job that can be flexible around those other passions. Maybe it's somebody who has another job or even multiple part-time jobs on top of this. Or if it's somebody who has literally nothing going on, they're just thinking, hey, I just want to make as much money as possible. No matter what, every single person is important on our team. And my philosophy is if enough team members hit their goals, we'll of course achieve our goals too. We do have pretty big goals this year, kind of like I was telling you, but that's why it's really important we select the right people. So although we cannot accept every single person who's applying or interested in the job, obviously, we do look for people who are positive, who are hardworking, who are coachable, right? And if they have those characteristics and just mesh with the same core values as us, I really think we can accomplish some amazing things as a team and really just help a lot of people in the process as well. Okay, those are the details of the job. And what I want to do now is talk to everybody individually just so I can get to know you better, make my final decision here. Let's all take a look at the chat box. There should be a link popping up in your chat. So once you see that, if you can just give me a head nod, just so I know it worked. Might take 1 second to pop up here because I'm just copying and pasting it in there. So let me know if that just popped up for everybody. Just give me a head nod once it works. Did that show up for everybody? Yep, it should be in the chat box. If you're on your phone, you might have to click on the little chat thing and find it. But okay, so I'm gonna have you click on that immediately. You can start filling the information out. How it's gonna work is I'm gonna have you fill information out there in that Google form. This is part of the interview process. Step two is I'm going to reach out to you via a phone call to finish the next part of the interview. The reason we're doing that is because there's quite a few of you and only a couple managers. I do not want to make you wait on video for a long time waiting to talk to me. It'll either be myself or my assistant manager, Jeff Reed, or Suri Ballard. They've also been listening too. So one of them is going to be reaching out to you as well. So how it's going to work is we'll ask you a couple questions. We'll review your application you're filling out right now. If things look good, I'll tell you when training is, if you're hired for the position. If not, I'll still be honest with you and I'll let you know what you can improve on in your future job search. But I will give you that courtesy of a yes or no today for sure. Okay. I would just make sure your phone is off do not disturb. Make sure it's on ring, just so the call goes through. So if a random 763 number or 218 number calls you in a little bit, it's probably us. So otherwise, the last thing I'll say though is you can go ahead and click on that link. You can start filling it out. But hey, it was great talking to everybody so far. I'm looking forward to the next step. So good luck, and I'll be calling you in a little bit. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Okay, and then the final step is I would recommend going through the post interview process, right? Making sure you're looking at the Google form, monitoring them right away, and then just make sure you also check off the people in the Vector Live system for kept. That means they stayed for at least a portion of the video, and then you can pause it. With that, you don't have to mark anything else until you call them, and then you would do the post interview process, just marking the spreadsheet, and just make sure you call them in a timely fashion as well.